Greetings from Kentucky. It is All Natural Face November, day 6. So I wanted to jump on and do 3 things. First, I'm going to run down what day 6 look is. Secondly, I wanted to pick up on some comments that were made on the video yesterday. And thirdly, I'm going to put in a clip that I filmed a few weeks back and just never had a chance to edit and put up. It is a Postman Cometh for some Brija cosmetics as well as some Geek Chic cosmetics. So those 3 things today. Let's begin with All Natural Face Day 6. Okay, it's going to look like a train wreck on my hand here because one of the things I wanted to show you was how pigments looked when you put something underneath it. Let me go ahead and start with that explanation and then I'll move into the rest of the colors. This shade here is Forest Nymph. This is with nothing. As you can see, it will rub out to nothing. If I keep rubbing, I can just get rid of it entirely. Here is that same pigment over milk. And it's just going to stay a little better and be a little bit more vibrant. Here is that same pigment over the Diva Stick in chocolate brown. And it gives it a little bit more intensity than the milk. And again, it gives it that lasting power. This is Deep Sea Green, and I've just kind of rubbed it out. Even though it's a fairly dark color, once I put it over here on this brown, it's going to show a little bit more. You can also probably tell there's not a whole lot of difference between these two. This is a little more blue, this is a little bit more of a true green. But let me show you what those look like in the pot so you can kind of see the difference. This is Deep Sea Green in the pot. I've used it to line today, and I have it over the Diva Stick in dark brown. And this is that shade Forest Nymph, which looks so much lighter, but when it's swatched, there's really not a whole lot of difference between this and this. What that tells me is probably didn't need both, could have gotten away with one. This is the color Green Gold. Really a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Let me see where I have it. I have it right here. That is Green Gold. This is Green Ice Storm. I love Green Ice Storm. Green Ice Storm swatch doesn't look like much. There it is there. The last eyeshadow swatch is right here, and this is the shade Fawn. This is the Diva Stick. It is a really serviceable color. I have this in both the Diva Stick and I have a little sample of the pigment. Great one to have in the collection. It's matte. For the look today, let me explain how I did it. I took the Diva Stick in dark brown all over the lid and then in the outer V. Then I took Fawn Diva Stick and ran that through the crease and a little up into here. That was the base for these eyeshadows. Then I put Green Ice in the center. I put Forest Nymph on the center and outer part of the lid, and in the outer V I have that Green Gold. So I'm kind of a riot of green on the eye today. Over here, this trio right there, this is Terracotta Lips. That's what I have on the lips today. And then I have this color, which is Touch of Peach, just in the center to lighten it so I didn't have such a dark monochrome look. Over those two, I put this lip gloss Coral. I have to say I'm not a big fan of the All Natural Face lip glosses. Have a few, a little too slippery, not long lasting enough for me, but I am not a big lip gloss person. I figured out really I can live with one lip gloss in clear and be just fine, and it probably would take me a year to get through that whole lip gloss. I just don't use it that often. For blush today, I used this Terracotta Cheek and Lip color, and I'm going to go ahead and swatch that right next to the lip color. There is the Terracotta Lip color. Here it is for the cheeks and lips. So you can see it's much, much lighter, and of course it blends out much easier than this would. That is the lip formulation. So that is All Natural Face Day 6. Okay, on to some comments. Yesterday I did a foundation routine, and one comment that I think a couple of people made was that they had a hard time figuring out what their shade was. I think that's a perfectly natural thing because most of us don't have a single shade. Our faces change seasonally depending on sun, but even without that, our faces generally are just not one palette. Oftentimes when we say something doesn't match, what we might be reacting to is the kind of monochrome look it gives off, which is why I tend to blend my foundation so that I don't end up with a monochrome face. For example, I can use the olives, which are the green-yellow undertone foundations. And in fall and spring, those are the best for me. That's when my skin is changing. In the summer, I get actually quite yellow. It's my idea of a tan. And in the summer, I can use tan. Today, actually, I put on the tan, and it works a little, but it looks strange to me at this time of year. However, again, it works. So for me, I might look at it and go, oh, that doesn't quite look right. But for somebody else looking at me, it doesn't look strange. It's not like there's a line or something like that. In the winter, I will go with the rose, ivory, porcelain shades because I start to get more pink. That then looks more normal, I guess you could say, or it resembles more of what my skin looks like at that time of year. Again, I do think the best way to figure out your foundation shade for the all-natural face is to get the sampler powder in your range. So mine would be fair to medium. And try those. See which pigments look best on your skin. And it might not be a single one. In fact, I guarantee it won't be a single one. You're probably going to say, well, that works, and that kind of works, and that kind of works. Then it just becomes a matter of preference. I don't even think you should be worried about switching between two lines. You might say, well, kind of on this area of my face, I look better in the yellows, and down here I seem to look better in the pinks. Again, most of our faces have various undertones to them. And the good thing about having a cream foundation that blends so well is that you can actually mix and match as I did yesterday and then just even it out with the sponge or even with your fingers. So that's my comment about choosing your foundation shade. Finally, I'm going to tuck in the Brija Cosmetics and Geek Chic Cosmetics Postman Cometh that I did a few weeks back. I hope you enjoyed that. Yes, yes, yes. Pigments, again. A girl can't have too many pigments, you know, because they don't go bad. The first thing I got was from Brija Cosmetics because she had this little cute pair out called Consulting Detective and Bachelor Watson. There they are. Very, very, very cute. That is Consulting Detective. What a gorgeous shade that is. And this is Bachelor Watson. Those will join the rest of my Brija products. Along with the Bachelor Watson and the Consulting Detective came this little Satisfied Grin, and it is called a lip juice. So even though I'm not getting any more lip product, technically this just came with the pair. And it's very, very sheer. You can see it barely shows up on me. So this is something for me that I would wear over a lip liner and give moisture and some shine to the lips. And she also threw in a sample of Game. I already have Game, so I'm going to pass the sample along so somebody else can enjoy Brija. The other pigment order I got was from Geek Chic Cosmetics, and so let me just pull those out. I ordered samples. I find there's plenty of product in the samples. They come in these little clamshells. These are a great way to get pigments. They're really small and really compact, and I love that. From Geek Chic, I wanted samples from two collections. The first one was from Fang Bangers Quartet, a Halloween collection. There is this shade, Viking King. Purity Burns is another shade in that Fang Bangers Quartet. The next shade is Blood Bond. And the last shade is Eyes of the Werewolf. There is Eyes of the Werewolf. And there are those 4 colors swatched. So that is Fang Bangers Quartet. Love the combination of those colors. I will store these as a collection because I think those are colors that I would like to use all together. The last 2 products I got were from other collections, Excuse Me Princess and Ambassador. and there is Ambassador. Those pigments will join my other pigments from Geek Chic. I haven't bought them all at once, just kind of here and there, and you'll see most of them are samples. I actually have very few full sizes. Every once in a while I'll go back and get a full size. Most of them I just have in samples, and that is plenty of shadow for me. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your wonderful and helpful and interesting comments below. And yes, make it a great, great day. Bye. From Geek Chic, I wanted some samples of two collection. From Geek Chic, I wanted collection. One is the Fang Bangers Quartet. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Fang Bangers Quartet.